seem intimidating, or you might come to think that I need 6 months, 8 months, 2 years to learn how to do the business before I can actually get new distributors in my team. I want to assure you that that is not really the case. Let me share this with you. I want to discuss to you about the system, what a business system is and what it does for our business. I'm sure that people who are attending this meeting today who drive a car, you know how to drive a car, but maybe you don't know exactly how the car works. For example, how many of you have a car, you know how to drive it, but you don't know how the braking system works? Or how many of you have a cell phone, you know how to use a cell phone, but you don't know how it works? How do you receive messages? How do you make, you know, you can do a video call, a voice call, but you don't know the details of how the cell phone works. Another example, your human body. When you're hungry, you eat. When you eat, you feel better. You go to sleep, you wake up, but you don't know exactly how your body works, because your body is a group of systems. You have the nervous system, you have the circulatory system, you have the skeletal system, you have the heart. All those are systems put together, it makes up your body. So if you're new in the, let me ask, if there is anybody in this training today who is less than 1 month old in the business, just raise your hands. Just if you're on the screen, you can raise your hand and let's see people who are 1 month or less old in the business. Let's just see if we have anybody in this training today who is 1 month or less old in the business. Okay, it looks like most of the people who are attending this. Okay, Susan and Paul. Susan and Paul is less than 1 month old in the business. Anybody else? All right, I'll use Susan as an example. Susan and Paul. And Elisha Meirutsi is also less than 1 month old in the business. Now, is it possible for Susan to sponsor somebody new in the business without, and Carol Sango also is 1 month old in the business? I want to assure you that it's possible to build this business and not know exactly how it works. A few things about a business system. Number one, once you join the business, a question you need to ask yourself, is there a system? John Chembezi is also one of them. Is there a system in place? That means, is there a series of procedures, tools, equipment that you can learn to use and grow your business? The answer is yes. Number two, does your team know about the system? Yes, in every meeting we talk about a system. If you're new in the business, ask your sponsor, what is the system that we use? Number three, does it work? Yes, it works, because some of the people who are in this meeting today were sponsored using the system. For example, Betty and I, we learned later as we joined the business, we were sponsored in the business because our sponsor used the system to get us into the business. A few things are important about the system. Number one, simplicity. Why is simplicity important? Because it increases the speed at which your business grows. Kazibu Wilson, I think, is also new in the business. So simplicity leads to duplication. That means the simpler our business is to do, the easier it is to teach other people to use. Number two, consistency. Consistency means you do the same things over a long period of time. And that leads to multiplication. Okay, duplication is when somebody does what you do. Multiplication is when many people do what you do. And then the other thing is you need patience. This is what leads to long-term success and financial freedom. Now, what is our business system? Our business system involves the following. First, let me go back. Personal action is important in our business. Why is it important? Because you need to bring back your personal enthusiasm into the business. The more enthusiastic you are about our business, the higher the chances of you sponsoring people in the business. People who don't want to join something that is boring and people are not excited about. Your level of enthusiasm will determine how quickly you sponsor people in the business. The second part of our system is tools. Tools are the things we use to grow our business. And tools, examples of tools are videos, CDs, magazines, DVDs, all those are called tools. Things that have been professionally done to help you grow your business. Number 3, weekly business opportunity presentations, where we showcase our business. It could be a Zoom meeting, it could be an in-person meeting, it could be a meeting where there's a large group of people and somebody who is trained or a professional speaker explains the business idea. Then weekly training events like this one, monthly recognition rallies. After every month we have recognition, the annual convention, New Life Convention, the annual team weekend rally, the team incentive. This is what constitutes our system. Now, I want to take this opportunity. Last week, Saturday, I logged into one of our leaders training in Kenya, Judy Njeru's team. And there was a presentation. And then I heard the story of one of our leaders, how he was sponsored into the business. Henry Kissinger Wanjala from Nakuru, one of our great leaders in Kenya. And he explained how he was sponsored into the business. Kissinger's sponsor is called Carol. What did Carol do? Carol had started a business. The first thing that Carol had, I'm sure Kissinger was in her name list. So the first thing is you need to have a names of people. And then what did Carol do? Carol went to see Kissinger and said the following. Kissinger, I've started a business and I think it's very exciting. Look at this magazine. I don't know how to explain the business yet, but read this magazine. And what did she do? She left. She left Kissinger with the magazine to read. So Mr. Kissinger went through the magazine. He saw some personal success stories. And then he picked up the phone and called Carol and said, Carol, please come and explain to me how this business works. What did Carol say? Carol said, sorry, Kissinger, I don't know how to explain this business. I'm still new, but I want you to come to a business presentation. So what did Kissinger do? Kissinger went to the business presentation and explained the business to him. And he said, this thing looks very simple. It's something I can do. That's how he joined the business. He bought a kit. And when he bought the kit, he started the business. Kissinger became one of our most successful distributors in Kenya. So if you're new in the business, I would recommend do exactly what Carol has done. What did Carol do? Number 1, Carol invested in tools. CDs, DVDs, magazines, videos, catalog. These are examples of tools. You don't have to buy all of them, but at least invest in some of these tools. Number 1. Number 2, when you're new in the business and you don't know how to explain, don't worry. Use either your sponsor or use the tool. Go and give it to your prospect and say, please read this magazine. I don't know how to explain the business very well because I am new. I want you to come for a business presentation. You can invite them for a presentation where there's a group meeting at a hotel or a venue, or you can invite them to a Zoom presentation that your leader is doing, or you can invite them to one of our Monday meetings that we do every Monday at 8 p.m. East African time or 7 p.m. South African time. That is where somebody experienced will explain the business. After you've explained the business, you need to follow up with your prospect and ask, did you understand what was explained? Most people will say, yes, I understood. What did you like most? Do you want to get started? This is the application form. Once you've given them the form, they sign, you tell them, look, it costs this much to get started. They get started. If you don't know how to open the kit, use your upline sponsor, your upline success line to help you start the new person in the business. That is why I say this business, even if you're 2 days old in the business, you can sponsor somebody in the business. Why? Because we have a system, number one. Number two, you have your mentor or your sponsor or somebody who has an interest in your success. Very simple. Do the following things. The first thing you need to tell the new person, okay, the first thing is use the products. I would recommend that all of you need to use LDC. Why? Because LDC is a multi-purpose cleaner in the home. You can wash dishes with it, you can shave with it, you can clean the bathroom, the toilet, the floor, wash your car, anything in the house that requires cleaning, you can do with LDC. Another one is Tree and N. All of us need to use Tree and N. Why? It is the foundation for nutrition. CalMag, then service 6 customers. That means look for 6 people who need the following products. It may not be exactly these products. Maybe somebody is a farmer, they need Supergrow. Maybe somebody has got high blood pressure, they need omega-3 and lipotropic agent. Somebody has diabetes, they need botanical balance. So you need to look for 6 to 8 customers that you supply products to every month. The more, the better. So that you reach your 100 PV. Then share the business. How do you do it? You repeat exactly what Carol did with Mr. Wanjala. Write a prospect list. If you're not very sure, take a magazine. I would suggest go to the nearest distributor center and buy old lifestyle magazines. If you can't get old lifestyle magazine, get an electronic one. Now we have an electronic lifestyle magazine. You can send it to a prospect. Okay, so repeat the same process. Name list, give them a tool. If you don't know how to explain the business, do the presentation. If they cannot come to a Zoom meeting or they cannot come to a in-person meeting, do a one-on-one presentation and then follow up with the prospect to make a decision. Once they've made a decision, go take them through the same process. This is how you first learn how this system works. Number 2, put it in practice. Number 3, use it. You don't need to understand the details of the compensation plan to build your business. You don't need to understand every product in the catalog for you to build your business. You need to know a few of the products. You need to know how LDC is mixed and used. You need to know what Tree and N does. It feeds your cells. It helps increases your energy level. It helps with hormonal balance, all these little things. But you can build your business without knowing how the business works. That is the point I want to pass across to new people in the business. Even the people who are old in the business. Use the systems that are in place. Buy tools, magazines, CDs, DVDs. Right now, because of electronic media, there are videos which you can get at virtually no cost. But you need to invest in some data or Wi-Fi because you need to send videos to your prospects. So this is how the system works. Learn it, put it in practice. This may appear slow, but it's not as slow as you may think. If you do this, if let me say you share this magazine with 2 prospects a day, in a week, you'll have shared it 10 prospects. In a month, you'll have shared with 40 prospects. Out of those 40, 2 or 3 or 4 you're going to sponsor in the business. That's what you need to get your business going. So make the business simple. Keep doing the basic things that we all do. Use the tool as much as possible. Get out of the way and use the tools. Sometimes, if you know how to explain the business, it's very tempting to explain the business in detail. Remember, the more you talk, the less your prospects will understand what you're saying. Okay, so use the tools. And then I'm going to go and share with you something about persistence. One of the things you need to do about this using the system is consistency. Consistency is doing the same things over and over again, which is different from persistence. Persistence is doing something that requires sustained effort to overcome obstacles. That's the difference between consistency and persistency. Consistency is doing the same thing even when there's no obstacle. For example, if you follow a specific route going to work, that you're called consistent, but there's no obstacle to overcome. Persistent is doing the same thing towards a specific goal to overcome obstacles so that you achieve the goal. That's the difference between persistence and consistency. So, what is persistence? Persistence, first and foremost, is a state of mind. A state of mind that says, I'm going to do what I'm doing now until I achieve the goal that I want. So it is sustained effort towards achieving a specific goal despite the obstacles that you face, because all of us face obstacles. All of us face challenges. All of us will be told, no, this thing doesn't work. All of us will be laughed at by our friends, our relatives, sometimes even our spouses. Okay? So one of the indications that you're actually doing the business correctly, if a lot of people tell you no, then you know you're doing the business. If nobody has told you no, you're not doing the business yet. So sustained effort requires strength of the will. You need to do what you need to do over a consistent period. Number 3, to help you be persistent, you need to define a goal or an aim that you're looking towards. What is the goal? What do you want to be on the 1st of May 2026? What do you want to achieve? Financial income-wise, do you want to buy a new car, have a new wardrobe? You need to have a specific goal. Don't just say, I want to have a lot of money. How much money do you want? The next thing you need to have is an intense desire. Desire comes from the word to sire, means to give birth. So to have something in your heart you want to achieve, you give birth of that thing that you want in your mind and in your heart first before it becomes a reality. So you need to have an intense desire. And then you need to have definite plans. Definite plans means the actionable things that you need to do. What do you need to do to get to your next level? If you're a distributor, your next goal should be a manager. If you're a manager, your next goal should be a senior manager. If you're a senior manager, your next goal should be a executive manager. Okay? If you're an executive manager, your next goal should be a director, then emerald, then sapphire. So you need to have definite plans to achieve those goals. And then you need to have accurate knowledge about your goals. Why is this important? Because this is what keeps you on the path to becoming successful. And then you have to do these things until they become a daily habit. Habit is made out of thought, out of action. You repeat the same action until it becomes a habit. That is why success is not a one thing or is not a goal. Success is a habit. Success is doing the things you need to do to achieve the goals that you want. And if you do this and you sustain the effort, persistence will always bring you to the goal that you want. I want to thank all of you very much for sharing this evening with Betty and myself. I hope what we have shared with you will help you grow your business to the next level, especially the new people who've joined our business the last 2, 3, 4 months. It is possible to build this business without understanding all the details of the business. Use the system. Use tools to grow your business. Thank you very much. Good night and God bless.